Hi there, this is Tracy with Trixie Scraps, bringing you another edition of Masters Monday, where we try to show you some simple tips, tricks, and occasionally more involved tutorials for Photoshop and digital scrapbooking. So today I want to show you a really quick and easy way to do some editing on your photos to remove redness from the facial skin and maybe a little bit of acne blemishes and things like that. So I have this picture here of myself that I took earlier today. This is just, one of those car selfies. So it's not, the best photo, but it's good to show you for this particular example of what I wanted to show you today. Because I have a lot of natural red pigmentation in my skin, curse of being Irish, and I've recently had a terrible acne breakout here on my face. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and show you how I would go about reducing some of that red pigmentation in the face. Hopefully you see something here that you can apply as you try and edit your own photos. So what we're going to do today is we're going to work with a hue and adjustment layer. So right here, I've already gone ahead and duplicated my background layer so that it's, not a locked background. But what we're going to do is go down to this little circle and we're going to add a hue saturation layer. Now, just ignore my window for a second. I'm going to pull it down so it's out of the way. You'll see that you have a layer mask here. Now, because I have some pink in my shirt and obviously my hair is red or reddish, I don't really want my changes that I'm going to make here to affect the entire picture. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to use my lasso tool, and this doesn't necessarily have to be exact, but I'm just going to kind of come around and kind of, if you make a mistake like that, you can hold down the shift key and add more to your selection. So I'm just going to kind of come around and just circle pretty much just my facial skin, because my neck is fine. It's just my face that has a lot of pink in it. Okay, so now that I have that lasso completed, what I want to do is I actually want to do the inverse of that selection. So you go to select inverse, and what that's going to do is it's going to tell the selection to be everything except the area of my face that I wanted selected. Now we'll go over to the layer mask on the adjustment layer, make sure that it's selected, and hit Alt plus backspace. And that's going to fill the entire mask with black except for the area that is just my face, which is actually what we want to be working on. So now you can hit Control D to deselect that. Now we're going to get into the magic of working with this hue and adjustment saturation layer. Now a lot of the time, if you have this docked, let's say, on your toolbar, it may not be stretched out like this. It may just kind of look like that. For this tutorial, you want to go ahead and stretch it out because we kind of need to see what we're doing. And actually, I stretched mine out quite a bit, so I undocked it so that I could move it away and see what I was doing with the photo. So, once again, we want to target the red in the photo, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit so that we can see what we're doing. So, up here, under master, you want to click that and change it to reds. Now, I'm going to do something that's going to look a little crazy for a second, but we can undo it, so don't panic. What I want to do is I want to turn the saturation way up, and that is so I can adjust which reds we're actually going to play with on the hue saturation layer here, and I can more easily see it if the saturation is turned up way high. So it looks crazy right now, but we're going to undo it and fix it. Now that we have that turned up way high, what we want to do is focus on this slider here on the bottom. Basically, we're going to be changing everything between these two lines right here, but then the hue saturation layer actually has a feather that goes out to these pinks and out to these orangey yellow colors over here. So what we need to do is actually bring the feather in and bring the main area of red that we're going to change in closer to itself so that we affect less of the reds and pinks in the photo. You'll see what I mean as I start to adjust this. So first thing I'm going to do is bring this slider in, and you'll see as I do that we're affecting less of the reds as we do that. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull the pink in. And that's not really changing too much because we're really focusing mostly on the red. Now that I have those pulled in, I'm actually going to go ahead and adjust these layers as well. And you can see as I pull that in, now we're really targeting more of the red pigmentation in the skin. It's also targeting my lipstick, and I'm going to show you how to fix that once we get through this. But I think that this is pretty good. I want to focus pretty much on the redness that you see now in my cheeks, and again where those blemishes were last week that are healing. So now that I have that fixed, I'm actually going to take my saturation back down to 0. And now is where the magic comes in. We're actually going to change the hue. Now you can see if I go this way, it turns really purple. So that's not what we want to do. We actually want to turn it this way. And you can see that red is disappearing. And maybe just to kind of show you what I mean, I'm going to turn this saturation way back up. And as I pull this slider up, you'll see it's kind of turning more of a yellowy color, which is actually what we want, because it's kind of going to get that color to be closer to the skin color on the rest of my face and have it not be quite so pink. So I'm going to pull it probably up to there. Now, because we've done that, the whole thing is looking a little bit washed out. I actually might increase the lightness a bit too, because that'll further reduce the appearance of that color. But now that we've pulled this up, we probably need to bump the saturation just a little bit, just to put a little bit of color back in my face. And this, really, you just kind of have to play with this until you get it looking the way you want it to look. So I think that's pretty good. I like that just like that. So we're done with this portion and fixing the hue. But now I want to go in and show you how to, if you happen to have pink or red lipstick on and it has changed the color of your lipstick, as it did for me, you're going to want to go in with a brush, and I usually go for a hard-edged brush. You want to click on the mask itself and make sure that your foreground color is set to black. And we're going to change the size of the brush here, just make it a little bit smaller, and I'm going to go ahead and paint with black on that mask. And this isn't going to be exact because I'm kind of just sort of trying to get it done real quick for you guys. But you just paint with black on that mask and it kind of brings back the pink in that lipstick there. So quick and easy. You can kind of use a soft edge brush too if you want to feather out that edge. But there, we've brought back the lipstick color. Now the final step in all of this is to use your spot healing brush, and we'll go ahead and or actually not the spot healing brush, the healing brush tool, which you can find. I don't want the spot healing brush, I want the healing brush tool. So I've added a new layer, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit again. Now the important part here is to make sure that you have this up here selected to current and below, because you're going to be sampling from the photo below it, and you want to make sure that you have something that you can sample from. So you click Alt and click somewhere on your photo nearby where the blemishes are, so that the skin looks basically the same but not actually on the blemish. So I'm going to sample from here, and then I'm going to come up here and click on that blemish once, and you'll see that it goes away. Just gently go through and take off the majority of the marks, the little blemishes. You can spend as little or as much time on this as you want, but after you go through and you clear out some of those blemishes, you'll see that I have toned down the red in the picture, as well as removed most of the imperfections there on my chin. So I hope that these tips have helped you a lot. Like I said, they're just kind of some quick and easy methods for removing a lot of that red pigmentation in the skin. And just to show you the difference, I'm going to go ahead and group these and turn this off. So that's the before, and that's the after. That's today's Masters Monday. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing to my channel, and I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.